I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me, so deep in my heart that you're really a part of me.
You don't have to be
ask you a question. Why do you have psyche? The word psyche.
psychic.
Psychic.
Are you a psychic?
No.
Well, that's a judgment. You are psychic.
Oh, okay.
But that was just a sample. It was a sample for a video I was doing. It was a sample.
Okay.
So instead of just leaving it blank, you just write that. You just scratch that out and put in your own. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That was just a sample of the I'm not psychic enough or whatever it is. But what you did, you wrote it out the whole thing, right?
I was kind of. I wrote some of it. I have a family. Yes, I recognize my judgment that I have a family. Is that what you're wanting?
The judgment is I don't have a family.
Right.
And the replacement is I have a family. So you release I don't have a family and replace it with I do have a family.
Okay.
You have to, it's like, think of it as like a person. If I'm the person and I'm coming up to you and I say you don't have a family, I'm that being that said to you, you don't have a family. And what do you say?
I do have a family.
Yeah, get out. Tell me to get out. I release you. Say it. Yeah, so I go walk away, right? Now I walk away. Now, your replacement is what? What do you replace it with?
I do have.
Right. So I walk in as, now I do have a family.
I do have a family.
Right, and what's the other one? What's the next one?
From here?
Yeah. I do have a family, and what else did you say?
I do recognize that I have a family.
Yeah, and the next? I've always had a family. What
I've
else?
always had a family.
What else did you
I've
write?
always had a loving, accepting.
Okay, so then I walk back. So then you see, I'm that same energy, and I walk back in, and you know you've always had a loving family. You've always had love around you. See, you're pulling these energies back into you. So you take the one that was making you cry, you send it away, and then it comes back as these replacements. You've always had a loving family. Yes, you have a family. See,
Yes.
So you run that little movie in your head of this one goes out as the bad one or the dirty one, and the good one comes back. 6 good ones come back. Yeah? 6 possibilities. And if you don't have a family now, you're going to have a beautiful family. The whole world is my family. The universe is my family. The trees are my, you see?
Yes.
You can just, if it's a big issue, then you just make it big. The trees are my family. The animals are my family. You see, you just keep going if it's a big one. And each one of the replacement is a new being coming in, a new friend, a new, there's a loving family coming in, you know, and the best family, an ideal family, you see? And you bring that in. Because when you got hurt, it was like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was automatic, nonverbal, invisible, and invisible. So you make it visible, verbal. Instead of automatic, you make it a method. This is the method, the ritual. And instead of it being subconscious, you make it conscious. So how you got hurt, this is just the opposite of how you got hurt. The steps that got hurt were those 4 steps. And the steps you take to make yourself better is to reverse it. And this is what this whole process is, the reversal of each time you got hurt. See?
I can understand now.
Yeah.
I've done it, yeah.
Yeah. It's very simple. It's just hard to explain in words. But once you do it and you practice it, it's very simple.
Okay.
Emotion release, talking parts of self, empowerment, judgment and denial release. Got
All
your-
right. I
you
feel
got
lightheaded.
You got your 10? You got your 10 of them in for practice?
Yeah.
You doing okay?
I changed all mine to, just change them to positive.
No, I did 10s. She didn't
I've
understand
been
what I
doing
was.
them while you're.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
find 10 different judgments.
These are. Let's just pretend like read these and whichever one is. Is that it?
Like, I'm not good enough, so you go.
Because I try not to say them negative. I always try to say I'm positive.
Right, but here we're going both ends. Polarity flip-flops. She's given a lot of
So you're taking all those statements and turn them into positive.
That's what I did.
Don't do that.
Okay.
You want to take the negative statement and release it, and then bring in the positive. If you don't release it, then it's staying here as negative. So now you have a negative thing and a positive thing, and so it's fun to play around in the positive thing, but that negative thing is still there. You see what I'm saying? You didn't do anything. All you did is balance it out some by the positive. You have to release it. You release it by crying and shouting, and then you release it formally with the words. You see that negative thing going out.
I understand what you're saying, but I felt like, okay, I can redo it. You just look for other things that.
If it feels like it's true for you, do a release
Right.
on it. If it feels like that's something you felt in the past or something that resonates with you, then you do a release on it. And then you can replace it with as much replacements as you want at the end.
that's where your positive comes in at the end. You put all
Right.
and you can put 100 in there in place of that one that you release, but you still have to face that negative one and release it.
Yeah,
Right.
otherwise,
Change it, yeah.
otherwise it's spiritual bypassing. That's what a lot of the New Age does,
Right.
Just think
yeah.
love and light.
Oh yeah.
Do.
And those people after a while, those people get so old, so
But
fake.
they're just really mean too.
Oh man,
sometimes.
heartless.
They will jump on people.
Especially when you touch their beliefs. Oh man.
Oh, yeah. It's really interesting, those types. Because they haven't done their shadow work.
Oh, maybe that thing was recording the whole time. I don't know. I thought I turned it off. But anyway, so here's the image I want everybody to have that is helpful because you're going to be teachers. Think of it as like what happened to you in the past, right? What happened? Something happened, like, I'm not being heard, or, oh shit, I'm being born again, or whatever it is, right? But at that moment, you don't say consciously. Go ahead.
Thank you.
That's your rage. But you don't say, when that happens, you don't say, oh, I'm going to file this away in my biofield forever.
Right.
You don't say that. So it happens automatically, subconsciously, non-verbally, and invisibly. Right? And what the judgment denial release is it instead of being subconscious, you make it conscious. Instead of being non-verbal, you make it verbal. Instead of being invisible, you see it. Right? And what was the other one? Automatic, subconscious. Oh yeah, instead of it being automatic, it's a method. This is the method. It's the process. It's the ritual. See? So it's manually. So you're basically taking how you got hurt and walking backwards. You just reverse the process of how you got hurt. So if you have the emotional energy and then the words, and you can release big chunks of stuff like that. So, but the image is two parts. Always two parts to a wound. One is the toxicity of the feeling. That's the toxicity of the feeling. So that's the snake bite. That's what hurts. That's the pain. I was tortured as a child. That pain of being tortured, the poison of that is the snake bite. But it's the words which you were forced to conclude, there is no love for me, or those people don't hear me, or nothing I say will change anything. Nothing I will say changes anything, right? So it's the words are the snake, and the snake bites you. That's the feeling. The feeling is the bite, and the words are the snake. And you want to get the snake and the bite out. So if you do emotional release, you feel better, but you left the snake in place. And then later on down the road, it bites you again. Same shit. So you can actually do emotional release for years and not really get over, say, a childhood trauma or something, right? Because you're not getting rid of the words. You're not getting rid of the whole thing. You're just getting rid of, or the opposite is true. You can do judgment and denial release without an emotional connection, and then it's just words. So you're getting rid of snakes that don't have any poison to them, right? So if you didn't do the emotional release, then even though you got rid of the ideas and the beliefs, when the pain comes up, it comes up with the snake. You see what I'm saying? So you have to do two, the emotional release and the judgment and denial release. Emotional release, judgment and denial release. And then the episode's done. You can't do one without the other. It would work a little bit, but, you know. So, that's...
Basically, you gotta keep it real.
Yeah.
You can't just go through the motions and think everything's gonna be perfect until you do the judgment and denial release, because you never had the emotional release to go with those judgments. So
That's right. So, and
how you get to that point.
right, and so that list that I gave you, you can go through that list, and whatever triggers you, the words will trigger. If the words trigger you with a feeling, then that means there's emotions there. When you find those emotions and you vibrate them out a little bit, that, right? When you vibrate it out, then that brings it from the subconscious into the conscious. That means this statement is pretty close to what going on with me at one point in my life. Then you can do a judgment and a denial release on that, and the emotional release, and that issue's gone. So those 2 pages cover stuff that I kind of looked up and found about physical illness.
I found 10 pretty easily.
10, yeah, it's pretty easy. Because those are all pretty general.
Yeah.
And so there's resistance to doing the work. And we all have resistance. So, you know, you're going to go home and it's like, okay, we did the workshop, and then a week later it's like you don't do anything about it, right? And it's because of some of these judgments. I already know too much. Other things are more important, you know, than my healing work, or I'm too busy with my move. You know, that's what'll be coming up.
Right.
As to keep you from doing what you need to do.
I like the one, this is just another flim-flam self-help process.
Yeah. Just another flim-flam self-help. I've got this. Yeah,
Right.
I've got this. I know this already.
It's not necessary.
It's not
I
now.
like it is better to fail first than to have hope and then fail.
Isn't that real?
It's better not
Yeah.
to try than to try and fail.
Yeah. Okay, this is just on 2 topics. There's the God issue. That'd be 4 pages, 5 pages just on the God issue. Then there's the relationships, all the stuff to do with the man and woman and relationships, sexuality, sensuality, love, and all that kind of stuff, twin flame and all that kind of crap. A lot of it's just crap. And then finances.
Oh.
All right, there's finances, prosperity, success, and money and material goods and my place. And and under the God stuff is spirituality, spiritual worthiness, sinning, and all that kind of stuff. So these are just 2 categories that I have out there for samples, but there's huge amounts. And this is why you, as a biofield tuner, once you get people who understand what they're doing, you'll never run out, because you basically have to do a biofield tuning on each one of those,
Right.
if it's an energetic thing. Because there's a lot of stuff we have like I don't like that plant, or, that's not necessarily an energetic thing that's going to carry on from one life to another, So there's a lot of judgment it's not that big of a deal whether, like I don't like accordion music, that's not a life-changing judgment. That's not a damaging to your soul or something. It's just a preference. So there's a lot of judgments that don't really have much effect, but the ones that do, you know, like there's no love for me, you screw the pooch on that one. Or there's a lot of them that are really devastating. They did a survey, I think in the 70s, and they found that 94% of human beings have the judgment that they're not good enough. It's just the most common thing, you know?
Well, at some point or another, everybody has it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unavoidable in this, you know, we're the most judgmental society. You go to school and everything's judged, you know, what's your ranking, what's your score, what's your, you know?
Right.
And it applies to everything, you know? But it doesn't help that we have this ideal. Our parents have this ideal. They have the ideal parent. Our parents have the ideal parent inside of them. And their expectations on themselves to be the ideal parent is thrown onto the child. So you get, you know, don't do this, do your homework, clean up your room, don't be messy, stop doing that, put your clothes back on, put your shoes away. No, 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 no. And this goes on from early childhood. And I'll give an example. A baby's crying, right? So you're holding this baby, the mother or the father's holding this baby. The mother or the father's holding this baby. And so she says to the baby, don't cry, right? No, 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 don't cry. Mother loves you. No, 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 don't cry, don't cry. It's all right, don't cry. Mother loves you, you don't have to cry, it's all right. Now, how many times did I tell the baby no? Was that like 10 or 12 times? And that might happen 4, 5, 6 times a day. And the mother loves the child, but she's still denying the will. And the child's all will, so it's like telling your will no. And so you stretch that out over 18 years. There's love there and there's no there. So this telling ourselves no becomes internalized as part of love. So that's why so many people have a hard time loving themselves, is because whenever you come to loving yourself, you got this no barrier. You got 50,000 no's saying no, you know, you're not worthy, or you're not good enough. Yeah? You're too ugly, too fat, too big, too small, too smart, too much woman, too sexy, not sexy enough. On and on it goes, you see? Here's something else about this work, about how simple it is, okay? This is a core principle of something as teachers you need to understand. When you learn how to eat with a spoon, how does it happen? Can you describe how you feed your child, how you learn how to eat with a spoon? The mother takes the spoon and she puts it in a child's mouth, yeah? The mother takes the spoon and puts it in a child's mouth, and then, you know, over and over again. And then at some point, the child learns how to feed itself, right? So the child takes the spoon and puts it in its own mouth, yeah? That's very simple, right? We learn that way. So, if the mother is giving the child the message of, no, 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 you're not good enough, I love you, right? So, which is another way of saying, do what I say or I won't love you anymore. That's the emotional impact, right? So you're getting that, no, 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 I love you. So that's what's being spoon-fed you, right? And then you take the spoon from your mother and do it to yourself. So we tell ourselves, no, 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 no. This is self-love. This is love. You see? What was done to us, we do to ourselves. You were tortured. You were whatever that was. You know what I mean? And then you do it to yourself. And that's why you have PTSD and drug problems and relationship issues, is because what was done to us, we internalize and do it to ourselves. And thinking that that's love. When it's like that's all foreign, it's like a foreign phenomena. It's not you, it's not love.